Thanks for being here, man. And I'll just let you kind of share a little bit about your passion, Denver, and what we might be able to expect.
Awesome. Well, thank you, guys. And Kevin is a good friend. He is on my Facebook, Kevin Knight. He's actually a missionary to Cambodia now. He goes back and forth to Cambodia. And it's amazing what a former homeless guy that everybody gave up on in the streets of Vancouver, BC, is now serving the Lord in some neat ways. Because of a youth group like you, they came and prayed with him. And as you heard, he didn't make a decision right there, but it was that seed that was planted in his heart because of your prayers. And so, thanks for sharing that, John. Well, I'm just excited to be here. I was in this youth room as a youth. Can you imagine that? We had this group right here. And these couches, I think, are still the ones that we had 30 years ago. By the way, there's gum right under this thing. I put it there, But I'm so glad that you guys are serving God, because that's what it's all about. Because remember what it says in the Bible, Jesus, the Son of Man, did not come to be served, but to what? Serve. And to give his life as a ransom for many. So that's kind of what the mission trip is all about. So you're coming to Denver. We're excited to have you there. We're going to have a lot of fun things, but most importantly, we're going to serve people in the city. So I want to tell you about where you're going to be. You're going to be at Crossroads with Rockies. My wife and I were called by the Church of the Nazarene to start this ministry in Denver. We're going to meet Bonnie and Stephen and Timothy. He was just really one of those people you didn't want to be around, kind of like Kevin. But she kept coming back because Stephen came to our after-school program for the kids' programs. And Stephen kept coming back, and he kept doing better, and he got off gangs, and he got off graffiti. You're going to meet Stephen. And finally, Bonnie came, and she got convicted by the Holy Spirit when I preached one Sunday, and she gave her life to the Lord in the most miraculous, wonderful way. And God blessed her, and she started coming more and more, and she grew. She never had a job all her life. She grew up on a reservation. She was sexually abused as a child, and all kinds of weird, terrible things going on. And she had 2 children without a husband, and she started getting saved, and she got her life together. She started living a holy life, and she stopped drinking, and she stopped drugging. And finally, her boyfriend, or the father of her 2 kids, Steve, you'll meet him too, because he's our facilities manager. He started coming. One day he came up to me and said, Pastor Dean, is it okay if I get saved today? And he gave his life to the Lord right there. He's not had a drink since. That's been 12 years ago. And so he's in charge of our building, and Bonnie, his wife, is in charge of our adult and family services. And it's an amazing, amazing story. And one day Steve came up to me and said, I'd like to give my testimony. He gave his testimony, and right there in front of church and everybody, he knelt down. He said, Bonnie, come up on one knee, and he said, would you marry me? And it was so cool. Now, Bonnie's mom and her dad are both died of alcoholism on the reservation, so guess who walked Bonnie down the altar? Her son. Nope, I was the pastor. Her son walked her down the altar. The boy, the little kid that started the after-school program, as a 7-year-old, walked his mom down the altar to marry his dad in holy matrimony. And they're in the church now. You're going to meet those guys. You're going to have a great time. You're going to sleep at the church. You're going to stay there, pray there, work there, worship there. We call it work-ship. Does that make sense? You're going to work and you're going to worship. Because when you work, you are worshiping. You are honoring God. You are giving to God your service and your praise in the midst of... We have other things to do. We're going to do graffiti removal. We're going to do community makeovers. We're going to do food and clothing ministries. We're going to go out in the neighborhood and we're going to talk to the kids. We're going to go to the park and play soccer and basketball and all those kinds of fun things throughout the week, just to build a relationship. And then at the end of the week, we're going to have a celebration dinner. We're going to invite all those people back. And if you guys do the Bible fundraiser, which... we can talk about at another time. You're going to give out Bibles to kids in the community. You're going to invite them back. We're going to have a big celebration before you head back here to Nampa. But I promise you, at the end of the week, you're going to be transformed. You're going to be informed. You're going to see poverty in a whole different way. But you're going to love people, maybe that were hard to love in the past. And you're going to see change in people's lives that is going to make a difference, I hope, in your life. And then our hope and our prayer is not, as Johnny said, it's not just a one-week deal. We want you to get on Facebook with our kids, because they have a computer lab at our ministry. So all the kids come in here, and you can teach them. Some of them have never done Facebook. So you guys can teach them how to do Facebook and be their first friend. Wouldn't that be cool? And then throughout the year, you email them and you talk about it. You talk about things. And who knows, maybe someday they'll come to Idaho. You guys bring them up here and show them what the woods are like. We're up in the mountains, Because we got the hood down in the inner city. You guys got the woods up here in beautiful Idaho. Or somewhere there's woods here. I know, I used to live here. But we're excited to have you guys come. And so be praying, be thinking about it. Hope all of you can make it. It's a great time. And we're going to try. Thanks, it's great to be with you guys.
You can do this. You really can. You'll be surrounded by good people. And to know that you're not just going to do some random thing somewhere that's not going to matter, but we're impacting a real ministry that, this is Dean's life. And it's cool to see a face up here. I mean, somebody who's been transformed, but somebody who's in the trenches of this inner city ministry with his life and with his family. It's a really cool thing to be able to do, you guys. So be praying about it, be thinking about it, talk about it, and in January we'll have a kickoff meeting again with your parents, and everybody's interested in going, and we'll get the ball rolling for that. But I'm excited for that. So thanks for sharing, Dean. Appreciate it, man.